All right, so I just did the intro video. This is Grumpy, One Stop Automotive. Um, I just did the intro video of what I do, who I am, blah, 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 blah. I just got a vehicle in this last week. This last week was an oh shit moment. It was one of those, really? Um, the guy had come from North Carolina driving a 2014 Chevy Impala. A beautiful car, well kept, maintained, blah, 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 blah. The body was straight, brakes were great, well maintained, the oil was good, whatever. And he comes in from North Carolina, straight in. And apparently he had read our reviews and said, "This is the place to go. Thank you very much." It came in with a 171 code, okay? Lean. I ran it. I have an Autel system that allows me to go through the live data, what's actually happening with all of the sensors and everything else, and everything seemed on board. Yet it still would throw a lean code the minute you get out and you drive it. Was it the O2 sensors? Was it the mass airflow sensor? Was it the pressure sensor and the intake? What was it? 171 only points you in the right direction. It doesn't tell you what the problem is. Any of the codes that your car throws doesn't tell you what's wrong. It tells you what's reporting the problem. So I get it that afternoon and I'm looking at it and I'm not seeing it and I'm not feeling anything incredibly wrong. So it's like, you know what? I took the car, I unplugged it, I turned it off, I put it back out on the line. I told the owner, you know what? I'm going to hit this in the morning when there's nothing else going on and nobody else here. I'm going to put it on a smoke test and find out what the problem is. We've got swamp coolers going. We got all kinds of noise going on. I can't hear shit. Next morning I come in, I plug it in, I hook it up, put a smoke tester on it. Smoke tester is something that introduces a smoke vapor into the intake manifold. That was my suspicion, that there was a leak somewhere. And it took about 20 minutes actually for the smoke to start coming from wherever. Turns out it was coming from where the intake manifold meets the head on number one and number two. Now, why it was only number one and number two is beyond me. I'll explain that later. So, finish that up, button it back up, put it back out on the line. When my service writer showed up, Grayson, I told him, it's like, I need an intake manifold gasket for this. And he looked at me funny, but said, okay. And I pull it apart, or I pull it back in that afternoon, and I go to pull the intake manifold off, and you can't get it all the way off without taking everything else out, but okay, whatever. And I put my wrench on. My socket was a 10 millimeter socket on an M8 125 bolt. Okay. For the techs out there, you'll know what that is. For the people out there, sorry. And I go in and you're pulling it towards you. You can't see the bolt. You just have to feel it. And I felt it and I made sure I was on it and I turned it. Just like that. And I went, oh shit. This is not okay. And I caught the next one. Oh shit. This is not okay. All 5 intake bolts. You could actually, and you see the thing here, lefty loosey, righty tighty, but if it's facing away from you, it's the opposite. I'm tightening these bolts by hand. All right, I know what the problem is. So I go in, I take the bolts out. I move the intake manifold back. I replace the gasket because anytime that you've got a leak of that magnitude, replace the gasket. It doesn't matter. There's shit on that gasket you don't want to know about. Put it all back together, tightened everything back up, put it back on the Autel. Again, it's perfect. I took it for a test drive. My idea of a test drive is if I can't break it, you can't break it. Just the way it works. I'm not saying anything else. Just leave it at that. What happened was that the intake manifold bolts were not tightened up. At highway speed, at highway acceleration, at getting on and off intake ramps, it makes an intake leak. I can't say that this was an accident. Okay? Not all of them. One of them, okay. 5 of them, are you shitting me? So, yeah. Then I find out that the customer picked up his vehicle from the dealership with this same complaint. So the dealership replaced the intake manifold gasket. That brings up some questionable shit. If that didn't go away, they could have charged him for O2 sensors, a mass airflow sensor, and all kinds of stuff. Thousands of dollars worth of work for a $20 intake manifold gasket. That is really concerning to me because you have to ask yourself, was that done intentionally? You cannot be that precise accidentally. And you have to ask yourself, are these techs who are paid commission, I'm not, creating work and sales so that they can make more money? I'm ICAR qualified, certified. That means absolutely dick to me. It's an insult to say I'm an ICAR or ASE technician. I'm a little above that. Okay? I've been at this shit for 40 years. I know things. I've forgotten things most techs don't know. I worked on everything from 1937 up to 2025. I know things. It's like being in the mafia. You can't get out. I know shit, so I'm stuck with it. You have to look at the ratings of the dealership or the contractors that you pay to do your work. Okay? 4 out of 5 stars is not a good thing. It's just not. I've seen shops where people go in for an oil change, and I shit you not, and I can prove it, they come to us and there is a cut in the constant velocity axles on the front, a razor blade cut. It's too smooth, it's too new, it doesn't belong there. Oh, you need CV axles. Hey, well, you do now. I don't need the extra work, boys and girls. I'm working 60, 70 hours a week just on the honest people that come to us, and just on the honest, you know what? You don't need brakes this time around, but, next oil change, plan on it. You know what? Your struts are a little on the leaky side, they're a little on the weak side. It's not going to kill you, but you know what? You need to get those replaced. That's the way things work. That's the way we work. I'm going to tell you the truth about the car. Yes, I give bad news to good people all the time. It's the nature of the business. But I'm going to tell you the important stuff first. The things you need to address in the future. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't need your freaking money. What I need is your business and your honesty and your trust. Hey, I did this and it didn't work out well. I need to know these things. So, I'm on a rant. Sorry. Way it goes. Look up the ratings on the shops that you deal with and make your decisions from there. If you got a shop that you're dealing with and it's got a 1.5 approval rating, go somewhere else.